Hey friend, today I'm going to talk to you about a subject that I read a lot in sports photography forums and Facebook groups. And I've seen some videos about this as well that it's touched on, and we need to fix this issue right now. It's a myth. It is a definite myth, so we're going to do a little chalk talk. I brought out the old chalkboard. Okay, technically it's not a chalkboard, but whiteboard talk doesn't sound near as good as chalk talk. So when I come back, chalk talk. So the issue that I want to take care of right now, it's a statement that a lot of photographers throw out there that you have to know the sport in order to shoot it. That's totally incorrect. Wipe that out of your heads if you've ever heard it. I'm going to prove my point right now. Chalk talk time. Okay, whiteboard time, actually. Say you're shooting, let's say football. You've never shot football before, but let's take a look at it. Let's break it down. Football field. I am not an artist. That's my football field. You got the end zones. Got a little goalpost thingy coming out right here, right? Look, I don't know what those are. Those aren't really goalposts, but okay. What do they do in football? They go this way to score, and the other team goes that way to score, right? And they do this all night, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's all they do. That's pretty easy to figure out as a photographer. What else we got? Say you're shooting soccer. What does soccer do? Okay, well they have goals. They have to get the ball into the goal. They have to get the ball in the goal. So what do? Kick it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth till they score, right? Okay, what about lacrosse? Say you're shooting lacrosse. You've never shot lacrosse. Could you shoot it? Well, let's take a look. They too have a goal. It's a much smaller goal. But what do? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's all they do. It's pretty easy to figure out how to get the right angles. You don't have to know the sport to shoot it. So what else we got? Let's move to here. Here's a good one. Let's get a different color here. What about basketball? It's more of a square, right? A little more of a square. What do? Well, you got the hoop. Get two hoops. What do? They go back and forth, 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 back. That's all they do. They stay in that one confined area. Pretty easy to figure out how to shoot that once you watch them a little bit, even if you've never shot that before. Volleyball, same thing, except there's a net down the middle. They hit it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're kind of getting the gist of this whole thing, right? All right, what about, pick a color. We'll do green. We're going to do baseball. Check out baseball. That's the home plate. It's supposed to be. First base, second base, third base. What do? Get the pitcher. Pitcher the ball. Pitcher staying in that area. It doesn't matter. You can get great shots of him from different angles. Batter. He's going to stay here till he hits the ball. Then what does he do? He runs to first base. And what's he going to do? He's going to go to second and third. Where's the ball? It stays in this general area. Kind of hard to mess that up. What about surfing? Let's throw you off a little bit. Surfing, right? So let's do this. Let's do some black. Here's the beach area. It's a really dark sand beach in Hawaii. And you got the water, waves, right? You got a little shark guy right there. You got your little surfer dude. What does he do? He paddles out and he comes back in. You know where he's going to be. That's not changing. You don't have to know surfing in order to shoot surfing. Track. Track is going to stay. Let's get another color. Track is going to stay around the football field usually. You can pretty much figure that out. Sometimes shot put or discus might be off a little bit, but you know everything that's going on. It's pretty easy. What else we got? Skiing, cross-country skiing. Cross-country skiing, marathons. There's always a start point and a finish point. You know where those are at. You usually know the actual trail that they're going to follow, so you know where to start and where to finish. And if you need to set up along the trail, you can do that. What about like Olympic sport, the biathlon? What a great sport, huh? Skiing and shooting a rifle at targets. That guy's a genius who came up with that sport. There's a start and a finish, and you also know where they're going to be shooting at, right? You have your targets. You know where to set up for that. As you see, you don't have to know the sport in order to shoot it because they usually stay in a confined area. They don't go outside that. So you can just set yourself up here, there, another place. You know, if you're shooting football, you might be roaming the sidelines. Soccer, you might plant yourself right there or something. But it's pretty easy to do. What you do need to know, you need to know your composition, how to frame the subject and get a good image out of that. And you need to know your exposure, your shutter speed, your aperture, and your ISO. You need to know those for certain. Once you have those down, you can shoot about anything. Heck, you could even shoot a dance recital, just knowing those few things. These are the basic sports that we all like to cover. If you can think of a sport that you really need to know inside and out. Hey, what about curling? Curling? Curling. It's a rectangle. You have to go here. They go this way. That's all they do. And that's it. But if you can think of one that you really need to know inside and out, let me know in the comments. And again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And that will do it for this chalk talk. Maybe we'll do more. Actually, it's a whiteboard talk, right? All right, we'll see you later. And don't forget, grab your cameras and get out and shoot.